For a lot of us, Destiny was our first foray into an MMO-esque game. Bungie may not have intended for the Destiny franchise to capture our imaginations and lay its hooks so deep into so many of its players, but here we stand today, and the future of the franchise has never been brighter. Sunsetting is off the books. The current narrative is the best work that Bungie has put out since Halo, and an infusion of powerful and exciting loot like Salvager's Salvo and Extraordinary Rendition has me pumped as we hurtle towards the Witch Queen. But despite all the great moves that Bungie has been making lately, there is an aspect of Destiny 2 that continues to hold back its potential, perhaps more than any other problem facing the game today. This is an issue that goes beyond simple gameplay elements like stasis being overpowered in PvP or the stingy loot structure in Trials of Osiris. No, this is something fundamental to the MMO genre that is completely absent in Destiny 2. Expansive, all-inclusive social systems. Other industry leaders in the MMO sphere, such as Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft, have extensive in-game group finders that let you team up with others easily for basically any activity in those games. Destiny 2, on the other hand, was originally designed from the ground up to be anti-social, with basically all communication channels being opt-in to avoid player toxicity. And while that goal is an admirable one, Bungie's solution to it is akin to burning your house down to kill a spider in the bathroom. Sure, the spider's dead, but now you don't have a home anymore. Bungie themselves have stated that they believe that Destiny 2 can be the definitive action MMO on consoles and PC for years to come. Destiny 2 was not originally designed to be an MMO, but ever since Bungie split from Activision, that is the direction the studio has been pushing the game. And it's time for Destiny 2 to finally embrace social features worthy of the genre. In this video, I'm going to explain how Destiny 2 can incorporate social systems and features to finally make it a true MMO. We're going to discuss how the H.E.L.M can transform into an endgame social hub with in-game group finding features, and we will then discuss how we can overhaul clans to create more friend groups that last the test of time. Let's jump in. The first step that Destiny 2 needs to take to become a true MMO is allow players to create, find, and join groups of other players to tackle endgame content with in-game systems. For years, unless you've had an established friend group, Discord server, or an active clan, you've had to use third-party tools outside of the game to get groups together for things like raids, dungeons, Nightfall ordeals, trials, or Iron Banner. While the simplest solution would be just to implement matchmaking across the board for all of Destiny's in-game activities, I think that's too blunt of a solution. Dungeons would probably be okay with just simple blind matchmaking, but 6-man raids with a level of mechanics built in that's unlike anything else in the game? Have you seen the blueberries interact with the balls in the Corrupted Strike? Yeah. Higher tier Nightfalls with locked loadouts and no ability to coordinate with teammates before starting such an activity? No way. And trials? Especially with card-based matchmaking? How would that work? Would you queue in with 2 other solo players with the exact same amount of wins with you against coordinated 3 stacks on that same win? Is that fair at all? I don't think so. Instead, Bungie should implement an in-game group finder that draws inspiration from successful MMOs like Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft, which have had robust in-game group finders for years. So, let me walk you through how I think a proper MMO-esque group finder could work in Destiny 2. First off, this new group finder would be accessed from a computer terminal in the H.E.L.M. Think about it. The H.E.L.M was introduced this season to be the Vanguard's forward base of operations, a true mobile battle station. In the H.E.L.M, we see high-ranking guardians like Osiris and Saladin come and go, and the facility has a built-in vault, postmaster, and engram focusing options. I propose that we add a new computer terminal near the postmaster that allows players to find and create fire teams. I would dub this computer terminal the H.E.L.M Group Finder. Upon accessing the H.E.L.M Group Finder, you would be presented with a very simple and straightforward UI. Traditionally, MMOs are PC games only. Destiny 2, however, bucks that trend and was originally built as a console game, with the PC version coming much later. As such, a key goal of mine in designing this group finding tool was ease of use for people that use a controller, with minimal amounts of hard typing or drop-down menus to navigate. From the base H.E.L.M Group Finder menu, the player would be presented with options to either find or create a fire team for a raid, a dungeon, a nightfall, a trials card, a crucible or gambit playlist, and then a more generic option for all other activities in the game. For the purposes of this demonstration, let's walk through the process to find a team for a raid. After clicking on the raid tile, you would be presented with a new sub-screen that lets you choose what raid you're looking to find a team for, be it Last Wish, Garden of Salvation, or Deepstone Crypt. Let's delve deeper and find a team for Deepstone Crypt. And this is where the group finding happens. Upon getting to the group finder for Deepstone Crypt specifically, you would be shown a listing of all the fire teams out there that are looking for more players to complete their squad. There would be a primary title and a longer form description of what the team is looking for, followed by how many fire team spots that team needs to fill. There would also be a minimum power level as part of the posting, which any prospective player to that team would need to be at in order to join. And finally, the name of the person that created the fire team listing would appear on the far right side of the row. In order to better curate the fire team listings and find a good match for you, you would then hit the search criteria button, which would bring up this screen. In order to keep things simple, the only requirements that you'd be able to filter on would be experience level, minimum power level, language, and the platform. All of these things are hard criteria that the game knows and cannot be faked or lied about. Let's walk through each of these criteria. For experience level, there would only be two options. The first option would be first time, which would denote that the group is A-OK with people joining that have never completed the activity in question, which for this example is Deepstone Crypt. The other option for experience level would be experienced, which would denote that the group is only accepting people that have fully completed the activity at least a single time. The game knows if a player has completed an activity before or not, and with this system in place, you would never run into the issue of players lying about their experience level. For the minimum power level, you'd be able to toggle this anywhere between the current minimum power level, which is 1100 at the moment, and the current pinnacle gear score cap, which for Season of the Chosen is 1310. Experienced players looking for others that are deep into the pinnacle band grind could set this up to, say, 1300 in order to get players in a similar situation leveling wise as themselves. There would also be a toggle for the preferred language, and finally there would be a toggle for the platform that you wish to play on. However, with crossplay coming in 2021, I'd include the option to find fire teams from any platform. PvE is a purely cooperative environment, and this option would allow players from across platforms to more easily join one another, making the overall player pool feel larger. Once you've settled on the right search criteria for you, hitting the apply search button would then curate the Deepstone Crypt listings page into only the types of teams that you want to join. From this curated list, I then see a posting for Quick Deepstone Crypt doing challenge mode that, hey, I'm interested in. Clicking on that row would pull up a more detailed subscreen. This subscreen would show a final breakdown of all the requirements set by the fire team leader and would let the person looking to join view their profile, inspect their gear, and shoot them a private message all before deciding to join. If the person looking to join does not meet all the requirements set by the fire team leader, the Join Fire Team button would become red, and the player would not be able to join. Now that we've talked through how joining a fire team listing works, let's discuss how to create a fire team listing under this system. First off, you click the Create Fire Team button, which would pull up the following subscreen. In this subscreen, the fire team leader would need to fill in a title, a description, specify how many fireteam spots need to be filled, what the minimum power level is that people need to join, the required experience level, the language spoken by the group, and finally, the platform. This subscreen would be the only one that is a little clunky for controller users, as you'd need to type out the title and the description. I don't think there's any way around this though, and as someone that used to send messages on PSN for years, you can still type pretty fast one letter at a time with a controller. Once you've set all the parameters for your fireteam, you'd simply hit the Create Fireteam button, and your fireteam would now be listed on the Deepstone Crypt Group Finder page. Now, you may be wondering, why would this Group Finder be on the Helm? Why not somewhere else? Well, other than tying in nicely to the ongoing narrative, the Helm is a private social space with a vault, a postmaster, and also has the tech on the back end to facilitate characters and players easily transmatting in and out. Once you hit the Join Fireteam button on a listing that you meet all the requirements for, you'd then be automatically transferred into the fireteam of the person who made that listing, who is on the Helm. Once all the fireteam spots are filled for a listing, then the fireteam leader would have the ability to queue up the activity whenever everyone is ready. And this is what makes the Helm so good. Say it's a group of newer players with only one experienced player. The group could talk about, what weapons do I need, and get anything that they might want out of the vault that is right there in the social hub. The Helm just makes sense both narratively and practically to facilitate all kinds of player groups coming together. Either super experienced crews that use third-party apps like Destiny Item Manager, or less experienced player groups that may not know of any third-party tools at all. Once the fireteam leader launches the activity, all players would then get a buff called Guardian Oath. The Guardian Oath goes away after either 30 minutes have passed or the activity is completed. If you leave the fire team before the activity is completed, you will then receive a debuff called Oathbreaker. And while this debuff is active, you will not be able to join any teams through the Helm Group Finder, nor will you be able to make any fireteam listings yourself through the Helm Group Finder. This system would be in place to weed out unreliable players from the Group Finder. If you disconnect from the game and come back, you would still be able to join your old group, but not any new groups until the Oathbreaker timer is up. This may seem unfair, but unreliable means not just trolls or toxic players, but also people that can't be depended upon to maintain a steady connection to the game. Remember, the time of the other people in your fire team matters too. And finally, I would include an option to vote to kick. This option would be included because, unfortunately, it is the internet, and sometimes there are people toxic enough to warrant getting rid of for the greater good. However, kicking someone would not be easy, and I would require at least a 2/3 majority vote to have someone removed. To avoid this feature being heavily abused and harming innocent players that find themselves being targeted for no reason, if you end up being kicked from a group, you will not receive the Oathbreaker debuff. Yes, this means that legitimately awful people would be able to get back into the group finder immediately, but normal players wouldn't be harmed for groups ganging up on them just to be mean by kicking them. And last but not least, this example that I just walked you through was just for Deepstone Crypt and raids in general. The Helm Group Finder would let players create and find fire teams for all activities. You want to get a group for the Prophecy Dungeon? Go for it. Maybe you're finally looking to do some GM Nightfalls because it's double loot next week? Do it! Perhaps you want to give Trials a go. I mean, the Messenger is the 3-win reward. I'd even include the option to look for players that want a casual run, say just to do the bounty or go for 3 wins, or a listings page for people looking for full, serious, flawless runs. Maybe instead of Trials, you'd like to find a group to help you climb glory ranks in the survival playlist. Or, say you're like me and need people to do the Presage mission for your weekly chance at a new Dead Man's Tale, well, that option would be available to you. With a robust in-game group finder like I've described, Destiny 2 would finally feel like a true MMO, with an easy, simple, elegant solution and system to find like-minded players for endgame activities. Now, let's turn our eyes to improving clans. Now that we've added a robust in-game group finder, let's discuss ways in which we can upgrade clans and make them more desirable to be a part of. Clans, also referred to as guilds in many other popular MMOs, are super important in games like Destiny because they act as a private social hub and in-game group finder themselves. However, the benefits of clans in Destiny 2 are honestly really small, and because of this, a large majority of the player base just doesn't engage with them. I think that clans could be improved and made far more exciting with two key revamps: a new clan hall and improving the rewards associated with being in a clan. Let's talk about the clan hall concept first. I propose that we continue to build on the importance of the H.E.L.M and include a basement level of sorts. This basement level of the H.E.L.M would become the new clan hall. However, this wouldn't be just a clan space. What if we made this basement level of the H.E.L.M be equal parts clan hall and equal parts tribute hall replacement? By far, one of the most egregious parts of the Destiny content vault was the loss of the Leviathan, which included 4 raids, the menagerie, and the tribute hall. Ever since Beyond Light, there hasn't been a place to easily test weapon damage or ranges in a controlled PvE environment. By making this basement level of the H.E.L.M also fill the role of the tribute hall replacement, solo players would have access. It would just be fairly boring appearance-wise. This new space could have a centralized simulation table in it that could spawn any enemy type in the game, rather than having nodes spread out all over the place like the Tribute Hall did. I mean, we straight up simulate the Lighthouse now, as well as multiple Crucible and Gambit maps with Osiris's Vex tech. I think that it would be perfectly justifiable lore-wise using this tech to spawn enemy simulations to do damage testing on. Imagine even having the option to spawn Crucible combat frames with a selectable resilience level to simulate damage testing against a Guardian in the Crucible. You could even throw in a Vault, a Postmaster, and ammo brick generators here to finish the Tribute Hall replacement side of things. To make this new part of the H.E.L.M a clan hall as well, the space could be decorated with trophies and banners that your clan earns. We already have a system like this in the game, the Exo-Stranger's Hut on Europa. As you complete different tasks and quests and triumphs on Europa, you slowly fill out the hut with trophies from the Frozen Moon. Imagine having your clan hall having trophies in it for things like completing the Clan Night Triumph for each of the raids, or maybe another trophy for going flawless in trials with all clan members. Perhaps the clan banners you earn each season from reaching max clan rank could be hung from the rafters as well. Over time, the oldest and most accomplished clans would have an incredibly cool space that clan members could call home. Now, let's talk about how we can spice up rewards for being in a clan to better incentivize players to join one. First off, I propose that completing activities with clanmates would now always award additional glimmer and slightly more XP, maybe another 1 or 2%. Just a little extra incentive to play with clanmates when possible. The next thing I would do is that every season, Hawthorne would offer a set of clan rank rewards available to everyone in the clan, with a new reward at each of the 6 clan ranks each season. These rank up rewards could mimic my proposed updates to planetary vendors in my Destinations 2.0 video, with enhancement cores and upgrade modules being low rank rewards, enhancement prisms being mid-tier rewards, and an exotic engram and 1 ascendant shard being the final high-rank rewards. Hawthorne could also offer daily and repeatable clan bounties that would let bigger clans simply speed up their clan XP progression each season, and let smaller clans have more opportunities to earn clan XP. And while we're on the clan XP front, I personally think that smaller clans should get like a boost or multiplier of sorts on their clan XP progression, as a small clan of 10 people and a monstrous clan of 100 people should honestly have different XP targets to hit, because right now, the system requires a fixed amount of clan XP no matter how large or small the clan is, which leaves larger clans at a massive advantage over smaller clans. Just a small complaint that I figured would be appropriate to bring up here. Anyways, with clan XP revamped, I think that the seasonal clan perks on your banner could be made more potent as well. Perhaps with things like increased drop rate of strike playlist weapons when playing with clanmates, instead of increased public event rewards. Or maybe awarding an additional trials token on all games completed with clanmates, win or lose, rather than only on wins. Or maybe even making the final additional weekly bounty that you unlock with Hawthorne grant enhancement prisms upon completion in addition to the engram that you received today. And lastly, I would include a refer a friend system that lets you earn a reward package the first time you join a clan on your account, as well as the first time you invite someone to a clan and that person joins. This reward package could be a one-time payout of, say, 7 enhancement cores, 5 upgrade modules, and 5 enhancement prisms. The point being, giving players even more reason to join clans, as well as invite people to clans. Because I can tell you from experience, once you get a good group of people going to play Destiny with, eventually you don't even need LFG tools at all. That is the true purpose and endgame of clans. As Deej once said, the ultimate loot is the friendships that can grow out of a game like this. That quote was ill-timed considering the dire state of Destiny 2 in late 2017, but the sentiment is entirely correct. And that is exactly what Bungie should strive for with clans. And just like that, we've come to the end of another video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this latest installment and how we can continue to evolve Destiny 2. The social features in Destiny, dating all the way back to the game's first year in 2014, has always been in a bit of an awkward spot. The best content that the game has to offer, such as raids and dungeons, has been walled off to a majority of the player base, with something like only 25% of all players having ever completed a raid in Destiny 1 or 2. For a game that has its eyes on becoming the best MMO on the planet, the lack of engagement by so many players with in-game content is just a shame. The social features that we outlined in this video would go a long way towards finally correcting this issue. I feel like a broken record every week, but thank you guys so much for the absolutely insane support. And just so you all know, perhaps the best way that you can support me is by leaving a comment down below. The YouTube algorithm absolutely feeds off of comments more than just about anything else, so even leaving just a few words helps these videos more than you know. And best of all, the ideas that you guys suggest in those comments also helps me make more of these videos. If you want to support this channel even more, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Have a fantastic week, guys, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. This has been your host, Kujay. Cheers.